Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. I'm excited to announce that we have Courtney Contos with us again, the chef extraordinaire. Dr. Anna is currently at a horse show with her youngest daughter, Ava Marie, and is unable to get internet access. But we have Courtney here to give us some yummy, yummy recipes again. And I can't wait to see what you're sharing with us, Courtney. I'll let you take over.
Thank you. Happy to be back. Hi, everyone. So today, this is Lucchini. I think some of you remember him. He's my little sous chef. I'm going to put him right here, and he'll just be hanging out. And so today, I'm going to share a recipe with you that I think will be perfect for this upcoming holiday weekend and really just all summer. Good boy, Lucchini. You just lay down right there. So I'm going to make like a Middle Eastern kind of shawarma beef kebab. And then we will make a dairy-free tzatziki, which just gets me so excited because I am Greek. So I love making anything Greek. So we're going to be, experiencing lots of flavors, spices. And as I did last time, I'm going to be sharing lots of tips with you. So we will get started. The recipes are posted. They should be here in the chat for you. And I want you all to know that I'm your chef friend here. So please ask questions. I believe that people change in community. I used to have rheumatoid arthritis, pretty severe for 12 years, and I can talk more about that and answer questions. But what really helped me on my journey was knowing that I was supported and that there were people out there that believed in me, and I was filled with lots of hope. So I am all of that for you guys. So we're going to get started. I'm going to start with making the beef kebabs. And I'm using the food processor. I use the food processor for meatballs. Anytime I make like kebabs or kofta, I just find that it gets everything mixed up really well. So I'm going to start with some garlic, of course. And remember, recipes are just guides, right? So even though I've written the recipe for you, you can change things. You can add more spice, less spice. It's really a fun time for you to be in the kitchen, to relax, to get excited, to share a meal with people you love, and just have some downtime. So cooking should be so fun. So I'm adding a good amount of garlic. And let's see what else. I'll add some onion. Sometimes I made meatballs the other night, and I cooked them in a really light tomato sauce, and I added lots of broccoli into the pan, so it was just like a one-pan dinner. But what I put in the meatballs is I add like kale, and I add cauliflower rice, and I always have egg in there as a binder. So I use that opportunity to incorporate lots of vegetables. So I'm going to just, roughly chop this onion because it's going to go in the food processor here. So onion, garlic. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to add some frozen kale. So I love having frozen vegetables in the freezer ready to go. And to just put a little kale in here, absolutely. It will add color, which the chef part of me is like thinking about presentation. But it will also add some hidden nutrients. Nutrition, right? We need that. So I'm going to add scallion just because I happen to love scallion. And what else? We need ginger. Here's a little trick. You guys probably already all know this because I feel like you're big cooks out there. I have this feeling. Let me get a spoon. But with ginger, people always ask me, do you have to freeze ginger? You don't have to freeze ginger. You should be just using it pretty fast, and you don't have to freeze it, and you don't have to refrigerate it. And I'm just peeling it with a spoon. So I just peel a little bit just by scraping it with a spoon. You only need to peel what you're going to use, right? So you don't have to peel the whole entire thing. I'm just going to trim the end. And the recipe for the beef kebabs that we're making calls for some ginger. So I'm going to use this grater. It's a medium ribbon microplane grater. Last week, or was it almost 2 weeks ago, I might have used this grater. And you know me, I love high quality tools. So just message in the chat, and I will promise to share any of these links with you, even if it's afterwards, okay? So I'm going to grate this right in here. And I'm going to have a good amount of ginger, but not too much. It's just there to kind of boost the flavor a little. Take a look at this. Can you see these fibers, right? So what I did by using the grater is I left all the fibrous part of the ginger behind, and we are using just the actual puree of the ginger, which, you know, should kind of like melt and dissolve in here, not be little bite-sized pieces. That's what happens if you chop it. So now I have this piece of ginger. I'm just going to put it back on the counter with my garlic and onions, and it just stays out, okay? What else do we need? We'll need an egg. So 1 pasture-raised, beautiful farm egg. And I'm going to go down the list. I'm going to add some spice. So this is where you really want to, don't be shy. Don't be shy with the spices, okay? We need to add some spices. I like to mortar my own. This is a French Milan-Rie mortar and pestle. So I like to grind my own spices. Sometimes my husband helps out, and he's a sweetheart for that. But you can also use a spice grinder. So this is cumin seed. And did I already warn you that I'm kind of a food snob a little bit? But I should be, right? I'm chef. So I am also using some wild pepper. There's a spice company. I'm going to go slow now. There's a spice company called Épices de Cru. That's 3 words. Épices de Cru. They're in Montreal. It will ship to the United States for, I think, a minimum of $35, free shipping. And they have the most beautiful spices. And if you like pepper, which, I mean, I'm not saying like spicy food, but if you just like beautiful, imagine just beautiful peppercorns. This smells like a pine forest with like a hint of rosemary and pepper. This is wild pepper. This is Adalaliman. I can't even pronounce that one. And it is from Indonesia. So this is a wild peppercorn. Épices de Cru has lots of wild pepper. They're all hand harvested. So pepper is not always just telecherry peppercorns. Yikes, I can go on about spices, can you tell? So we're gonna add some cinnamon. This is how I store my cinnamon. I bought this in Mexico. I fresh grind the cinnamon sticks. And so you take cinnamon sticks and then just put them into like a kitchen towel with a rolling pin, just smash them, or a cast iron pan. And then you put all of that into a coffee grinder or a spice grinder, and you have fresh ground cinnamon. It is dynamite. You don't want to use that shaggy rug, flavorless stuff that they sell in the jars already. Here's some turmeric. I feel like whenever I can, I just put in a couple pinches of turmeric. Why not? It's not gonna, you're not gonna really notice it. It's not gonna scream out, but it might add some health benefits. So I'm looking on my list. I'm going to add a little bit of paleo flour just to help this kind of stick together. You can use almond flour. You could add another egg. You don't even have to use it, but it's nice. Let's see, fresh mint. So I'm going to add a good amount of fresh mint leaves. I'm not going to chop them or anything like that. We'll just put it right in, let the food processor do the work. We have ginger, cumin. We need salt. So for salt, I'm using Ben Jacobson's garlic salt. He's out there in Oregon in Neatards Bay. All right, so I have grass-fed ground beef, really good ground beef. I like to get mine from either Thrive Market or Bel Campo. And what's better than beautiful ground beef is bacon. So I like to add some bacon into my meat. Why not? You don't have to. And I don't even think it's in the recipe, but I am going to. I think that's it. So I'm going to buzz this up. We'll make a little noise, then we'll turn up the grill and we'll start to grill these while we make our salad.
This looks fantastic. Is anyone else getting as hungry as I am?
You guys are so cute. I love it. And this is done. And I'm just telling you, if you haven't, when you make meatballs or hamburgers, just use the food processor. Something happens. It gets so nicely mixed up. And I just find that it's easier. So I'm heating up a grill. I'll get rid of this for a second. And we're working in a tiny space, like a tiny little space so you can see everything. I'm going to move the food processor. And I'm heating up a grill pan. So I just have to show you this because I know not everyone has an outdoor grill. I've had this for 12 years. This is one of my favorite pieces. This is the Le Creuset reversible grill pan. And I say reversible because on the other side, it's just flat. Just totally flat. So I use the other side for like stir fries, fajitas. I use the grill part a lot. I leave it out. That's the secret to owning this pan. It's heavy, right? So just leave it out on your stove, on your burners, and you will use it all the time. Last night, I grilled a huge pork chop with a homemade barbecue rub, and I put frozen like cauliflower that I had tossed in like a buffalo sauce and oil and garlic powder, and I nestled it all around on this grill pan. Like the whole thing was loaded with like 2 pork chops, buffalo cauliflower, and I just cooked it all together. And so this is fun. You know, you'll use it a lot if you just keep it out. I think I post a lot of videos on my YouTube stories, like cooking videos. So I think last night's pork chop video might still be there. Great, so I'm gonna form this, and I'm going to see, I haven't used these in a while, but you guys got me so inspired today. I wanted to try to use my kind of Persian kabob. So these are metal skewers, and I'm just going to adhere the beef right onto the skewer. It helps if you have a wet hand, so I just dipped my hand in water. That helps the beef from sticking. So do you see what I'm doing? I feel very authentic. This is the real deal here. We've got cinnamon, cumin, garlic, mint in here. You could fill this like whole thing up, but because my grill is only so big, I think I'm just gonna keep it onto a realistic size. So this cooks fast. I don't have to oil it. Why? Ooh, now you can hear that sizzle. Oh, this is gonna be good. Why don't I have to oil it? Why don't I have to oil any of this? I wish you guys were here so you could just shoot out your answers. Well, you probably already know, but the reason I don't have to oil the pan or the kabob at all is because we have bacon in here. We have 2 pieces of bacon, and that fat will help us make sure it's not gonna stick. It's pouring rain outside and it's sunny at the same time. That means there's a rainbow happening right now while we're cooking. So kabob going right on. I'll do 3 of them and then I'll stop. So these kebabs, because I know you guys are going to say, where can we get those? There used to be, I don't know if he's still on, but there was a show. What Barbecue U, I think it was. He was at the Greenbrier. Where's the Greenbrier? In the mountains there somewhere. I'm like, where is it? The Carolinas? The Smoky Mountains? Anyways, Barbecue U. Steve Racklin. Is that his name? I think so. Really nice guy. He's written a ton of barbecue books. And he started making like products a while back. And he sells these skewers. I used to own a kitchen store and a cooking school in Vermont. And I used to sell these skewers. I have to wash my hands now. And they come in 3 different sizes. So the ones I'm using are, I think these are the smallest ones. And can you believe that they get really, really, really big, like super wide and flat? And the big ones are nice for like whole tomatoes and for like beef tenderloin, big pieces of steak. So these are cooking. So I think if you were to search like Steve Racklin skewers, metal flat skewers, you'll find these skewers. And trust me, you're going to want them because they're kind of like they look cool. They look cool and it's very authentic. So I'm going to flip these in just a second. We'll see. Oh my gosh, this looks beautiful. I'm kind of freaking out. I get a little excited. Last night, my husband and I were not in the mood to cook. He's also a chef. And by the time we were done just whipping up what we were going to whip up, and we didn't even feel like cooking. We made like homemade barbecue sauce, coleslaw. We had those pork chops and the cauliflower. So a little bit about me. I think some of you I already know, but I'm a health coach. I work virtually with my clients, and I used to own a kitchen store. And I'm just going to peel a cucumber while we're chatting. So I used to own a kitchen store and a cooking school in Vermont, in Shelburne, Vermont. And actually Food and Wine magazine named my cooking school one of the best in the world, which was just like a crazy, beautiful honor. Still kind of freaking out about that, even though it was so many years ago. But after I had rheumatoid arthritis, very severe for 12 years. I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair, and I was told that I'd be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And then I found a way out. And so I had to close my school and find a way to help people and get the word out that when you don't feel well, when you are sick, when your body's out of balance, that there is always going to be a way out. There just is. And if I did it after being told for so long that I'll be in a wheelchair, then other people can do it. So now I have a virtual health coaching business. I help people clearly with cooking, but we do all kinds of positive psychology and working together so they can achieve their goals. So it's really special. And I don't even know how I ended up getting there, but that's a little bit about me. You can find more on my website at chefcontos.com, which maybe they'll put in the chat. So let's see. I've got this cucumber, and I peeled it. Now I'm going to cut it. I'm just trying to decide. It doesn't look too seedy. I was trying to decide if I want to seed it or not. And I think I'm going to leave it as it is. We'll see how it goes. So this is a grater, another amazing tool. This is made by a German company, Rossla. You see how it sits on the bowl like that? And I just love it. It also has these feet. But I'm just going to grate the cucumber. It's really sharp. I'll see how I feel about those seeds in a second. Maybe I can grate it and avoid the seeds. But we're going to make tzatziki. And it's going to be a dairy-free tzatziki. I know my Greek family is like, what? Dairy-free? But it's delicious. We've been making it a lot at home. And so I'm starting off with cucumbers, and we're going to add lots of flavors in here. I am going to take out some of these seeds because they're just bothering me. So these seeds, what they do is they just kind of water down the tzatziki, and we don't want that. So I'm grating. You can dice this. You don't have to use a grater. You can absolutely just dice the tzatziki. I just like the texture. And it's funny, in my family, like some people grate the cucumber and some people dice it. So we all have our own opinion on this. But I think it's a mood thing too. It's like, what are you eating it with? How do you want it served? Wow, these kebabs are cooking up so fast. And I just want to show you. You see all those grill marks? Like, this is what we're talking about. It's like dripping with bacon fat. I'm sure it's not all bacon fat. Okay, cucumber. I'm still grating. And then we're going to add some fresh dill, some lemon. I want to turn you on to 2 of my favorite vinegars. I have 2. I love vinegar. Vinegar is like, I don't know, it's like spices. You shouldn't just have one. You should have a whole variety of vinegars. And I always say that you should have like a champagne, an apple cider, a rice wine, a red wine, and what's the other one? Rice wine, champagne, red wine. I'll have to think about that one. Champagne, rice, maybe it's just 4. But let me show you these. So I could go either way. Hi, do you have a question?
Oh, I was going to say balsamic vinegar maybe, or no?
Oh, that's it. Thank you so much. That's exactly it. Yes, love you. Thanks for saying that. Balsamic, that's number 5. I knew there was number 5. I've been teaching cooking for 15 years, so there are some things that I just know when I know. So I knew there was a 5th one. I just couldn't remember. So balsamic. So these are 2 vinegars that I love, and I am a little brand specific, right? So this is a yuzu vinegar. Yuzu is a Japanese citrus. So this is a rice wine yuzu vinegar. And it's light and it's citrusy. It's really beautiful. And then this is like the Rolls Royce of vinegars. This is from France. It's aged for 5 years in oak casks. And it's a red wine vinegar called Baignoules. And because we're doing Greek food, I think I'm going to use this because they use a lot of red wine. So Baignoules vinegar from France. These are cooking so fast. I'm loving this. All right, so let me look at my recipe. I know I'm going to want some garlic. I'll use this garlic press again, the Rossla garlic press. You don't have to peel the garlic. Cucumbers smell so delicious. Why do they smell? They just make me hungry. All right, garlic is in. I like to add salt, of course, but I always add it at the end because it just pulls the moisture out of the cucumbers, and then there's just a pool of water. So I'll add that at the end. I'm gonna add a little fresh dill. And is there a question?
Yes, Cheryl has a question. She asks, is the grill pan on top of the induction?
Yes, it is. So I do all kinds of crazy things, and I'm not afraid, for one, I just want to say, to use any kind of cast iron on a glass cook surface or an induction cooktop. I'm just nestled here in this little corner, so I'm using a portable induction. At my cooking school in Vermont, I had a Wolf induction cooktop, and I use cast iron, Le Creuset, all the things they say you might want to do. I do it all the time, and I never had an issue. So this pan is over an induction burner right now. Absolutely. Sometimes at home we use the induction burners a lot. We want to put an induction stove in, but I love how fast they heat up. Oh my gosh, these hot kebabs. My husband's going to go nuts. So when I owned a cooking school, everyone always ate the food, right? We all cooked together. There was like 10 of us at a big table. And now I'm doing all these virtual classes, and I just feel so bad that nobody gets to taste the food. But I'll get over it. Okay, I'm going to add lemon to our tzatziki. And feel free to keep asking questions, you guys. I love you. I'm here for you. This is what I do. When I work with my clients, they get my cell phone number. And it's just one of the perks, I guess. Or I just want to be there for everyone. So I get text messages all the time. Like, I'm at the grocery store, or I'm at this restaurant. What should I order? All right, I'm looking at, we need olive oil, of course. Good splash of olive oil. I always recommend my clients do nutritional testing. There's a beautiful test that I do every 6 months that gives you a lot of information to see if you have nutritional deficiencies. I had a client recently, a sweetheart. All she used was olive oil, and all her fats were out of whack. She was so deficient. So it's good to use a variety, whatever you do. Eat a varied and diverse diet within your scope of what you're doing. So I'm going to add a little bit of mayonnaise, not much, and you don't even have to, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit in. And you can add up to 1/3 of a cup, just add, use what you like. Use what you like. Now I'm going to add salt. I want a good amount of salt. I want this to pop. And then I'm going to add a little bit of coriander. And I have some sumac. So I like spices. You don't have to use sumac, but sumac is like a wild berry. And the flavor profile is bright and very tart. So it's going to work well with all of this. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Okay, kebabs are done. We'll make a nice pretty plate. I wanted to show you something. So I spent a lot of time in Mexico. I'm opening I have a project there. We'll just say that. I have a wellness project in Mexico. And the way they cut the limes in Mexico for all your fish tacos and all those things is really neat. So they cut it long ways. You see how this lemon is cut? So when you cut it that way, you end up with this really nice squeezable section. You see how nice that is? There's not a lot of segments in there, or the inside where it's hard to squeeze, and you squeeze it and you only get like 3 drops, and the thing's flying all over the place, drives me nuts. So I love to cut my lemons like this. So I've got fresh lemons on the plate, and we've got our beautiful kebabs. I'm going to put this down first. So I always offer a coaching package for Dr. Anna Cabeca's beautiful community here. And so right now I do have a coaching package special, and I have only 2 spaces left or a waiting list. But normally it's $1,200 for 6 sessions, which can be live cooking or, on Zoom. And right now it's $300 off. So that is $900 for my Anna Cabeca community. I'm going to put this like that. We need a little mint garnish.
That's so awesome that you offer that, Courtney.
Oh, thanks, Bubble. I just love you guys so much. Look at this.
Oh my goodness, that looks so good.
Oh my goodness. So beautiful kabob with the tzatziki on top. I'm going to take a really nice photo later, and I'll post it on the Facebook chat there so everyone can see it, so you can see it the way I'm seeing it. But a nice kabob, really clean, beautiful, refreshing meal here, and with that lemon juice on that kind of, I don't want to say fatty, but we'll say rich, beautiful kabob. That is going to be awesome. And don't forget there's cinnamon in here and cumin, and we had fresh mint, so the flavor is just like jumping out. And I feel like when we're eating keto and low carb, that your best friends are going to be citrus, spices, and herbs. So use them, like love them up. There's a great book out there. I don't have it in front of me. Maybe next time I'll show it to you, but it's called The Food Lover's Companion. I use it as a culinary dictionary. It's just like the fun, I play culinary trivial pursuit with my husband. He'll read definitions and then I'll try to guess what the answer is. But in the back of that book, there's a section called Seasoning Suggestions. It will be your best friend. You can look up like mint, cinnamon, beets, anything, and it will tell you what spices, herbs, flavors go well together. It's a really cute little book. It's just a little thing. So any other questions? How's Lucini doing? Hi, lovies. No, little Lucini baby. It's so cute. It's always like,
oh, so cute. The only other question we had was from Cheryl. She asked if it's true that Ceylon cinnamon has more health benefits and less toxins. Is that true?
I have heard that. And I think with all spices, it's good to know your sources. So I go and buy like McCormick or things like that. I do love LaBoite, L-A space B-O-I-T-E. He's in New York, Lior. He's like a celebrity spice therapist. His spices are super clean. And also the Épices de Cru in Montreal, 3 words, Épices de Cru. They also are family-owned business, and they're very particular about making sure their spices are clean, because that is really important. So good question, or good comment.
That is awesome. And I put the name of the Épices de Cru spices in the chat there, along with a link to those awesome metal skewers you have.
Oh, good.
So,
everyone can see those.
Yes. So thank you so much, Courtney. I know everyone is so excited to make this recipe themselves. That was so fast how you did that. And yeah, everyone check out Courtney's website.
Yeah, this
so
is a great recipe. And here's a little kind of secret, although you guys probably all know this. These are good cold. These are delicious cold. So you make extra, and like the next day you're kind of rushing around. Like I love to just nibble on these, or I'll put them in an omelet sometimes too. They're fantastic.
Oh, awesome. Oh, it looks like we have one more question from Facebook user. How about turmeric and buying the best? What do you suggest on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. You could buy turmeric fresh. Like I do always have it somewhere right now in the kitchen. There's fresh turmeric, which I will grate with a microplane grater, the very fine zester. And then I always have just like an organic powdered turmeric. This is just from Frontier. It is organic and it's in glass. So I like that it's in glass. So that's it. Turmeric's great. I try to sneak it in, like if I'm making a little broth, I put it in all kinds of recipes. Yeah.
That's awesome. And can you tell us one more time how to sign up for those awesome classes that you were talking about?
Yes, you're so sweet. So head on over to C, the letter C, like C, like my C. We all had one in our family with letters. They stopped making them, so we got to hand them down if you were a C. Like my sister got lucky. Her great aunt was an A, Astrid, and my sister was Alex, so she got the A. But anyways, I have my C here. But it's ccontos.com, and you just fill out any of the questionnaire, or fill out a contact me and just write Dr. Anna Cabeca, you found me here, and you'll get that $300 off, which is an amazing good discount for you, just because I love this community. I love how everyone is coming together to make triumphant journeys, and that's what's important. Wellness, it takes a community, it takes the support, and I am here for you guys. Love you all so much.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much again, Courtney, and everyone. Her information is there in the box, so please check her out, and we'll see you again, Courtney.
Absolutely. You know it. I'll be back. Have a great rest of your day. Love y'all.
Thank you. Bye. We love you.
Bye. Good boy.